We're here with Noah Best, currently a redshirt freshman at Fordham University, a former NYC High School Catholic League star, all-city member. Noah, how you doing, boss?
I'm great. Can't complain.
How's everything been so far in college, the first few months here?
Challenging, you know. Little, I would say, like, that talent-wise, I wouldn't say I'm behind, but like IQ-wise, I never feel like I've been like behind like that. So just like trying to learn on the fly is just really different.
That's real. Definitely a pretty good gap between high school and collegiate basketball. I want to start off with where you from? Where was you born and raised?
Bronx, New York, home and raised, hometown, college hometown.
Got you. What part of the Bronx you from, to be specific?
Wakefield, last stop on the 2 train.
Okay. So that's like northeast Bronx.
Northeast Bronx.
What was it like growing up in the Bronx for you?
It was fun. I was a kid, but growing up, when you hit like 13 and stuff, made the decision to play basketball full time. But it was fun growing up.
Got you. You know, one thing I know about you, by knowing you through the years, is you come from a real, very well-oiled household. You come from a structured family. You got loving parents who make a solid living. And we know that's not really the norm in our culture. How do you think that's benefited you growing up?
Definitely benefited like my overall character. I say like viewing like my other friends, they don't have the same environment I have, like both my parents and stuff. So both of like my parents being in my life definitely made me who I am, smarter, decision making, stronger young man. So I feel like I stand out from a lot of like basketball players in New York. I just feel like I have a good head on my shoulders.
Got you. You might want to raise your voice just
raise it.
Yeah. You know, earlier you alluded to going to playing basketball full time. I believe soccer was your first sport, right?
Yeah.
When did you start playing soccer?
Soccer at like 7 years old.
7 years old?
Quit when I was in 8th grade.
Why didn't you continue with it as you got older?
Because the coaches, I don't like being told what to do from them. Like, if I played basketball, like they would stalk me, like, why are you still playing basketball? You need to play soccer full time. I just quit. Play basketball.
So that eventually started to rub you the wrong way.
Yeah.
You decided I want to play basketball full time. Yeah. Now in soccer, it's different. You don't gotta go to college or be a few years removed from high school to turn into a pro. Do you think if you would have stayed playing soccer, you'd be a pro?
For sure. I was already playing overseas at like 11, playing in Portugal against Spain, everybody. So it wasn't. I had a lot of confidence in soccer. I was nice, but again, I fell in love with basketball more. I felt like I didn't love soccer as much as basketball, so I chose the sport I loved.
That's official. When did you pick up basketball and why? Birth? And why was that?
I was surrounded by it. My dad was surrounded by it. Everybody in the neighborhood came to my crib because I was the only one on the block with a hoop. So I just drew me to the sport. I loved it, the competitive nature, going at each other. So that drive just made me love it more.
I got you, man. That's real, man. A lot of people love basketball for those same reasons. Did you play AAU ball in your elementary years or your middle school years the same way you played highly competitive soccer?
I was on House of Sports. First started playing AAU in 4th grade. House of Sports, House Elite, and Ardsley. Suburban, local place. We weren't that good, but we got it done. And as you know, we stayed together for a long time. Me, Big Neck, everybody. So eventually that turned into a high-level program. We started meeting everybody in New York, but
that's what's up. So you started playing with House of Sports, 4th grade.
Yep. That turned into SK Elite, Sean Kilpatrick Elite, coached by Jay Lee. And then I went away from that. Gauchos a little bit, 8th grade. And then I went to D1 NYC with you.
Okay. What were some of your best experiences from that period? You you started playing 4th grade. So around to about, if you were to say some of your best experience between 4th and 8th grade before you moved on to high school, what would you say were some of your best experiences playing?
4th grade I was behind. I was playing. Somebody there.
You go. So you just went back to saying what you feel like was some of your best experiences. I think you said 4th grade.
Yeah. 4th grade, I was behind. 3rd through 1st grade, I was playing at my elementary school, was killing a whole bunch of Bronx kids. And 4th grade brought me to light. Like, there's other good people around that play basketball, and I was trash. But I talked to my dad, he said you're gonna be better than everybody, and I felt like when I grew into my body, like 7th, 8th grade year, that was my breakout year. Like, people respected me. I used to get laughed at on House of Sports when we played. I used to cry when we played Gauchos in Riverside. I hated it. It was terrible. So I feel like 8th grade, 7th grade, those experiences, getting dogged by those high-level AAU teams, made me like a better player. So 7th, 8th grade was really fun in AAU.
I got you. So now, along with you getting better throughout the process, throughout 7th, 8th grade, I know you weren't necessarily what's considered a highly touted middle schooler. Nowadays, every kid is ranked from 4th, 5th grade, and they become obsessed with it, et cetera, et cetera. For some people, it bothers them. For some, it doesn't. In all honesty, did it ever bother you when you were that young and you see other guys' names and lights and not see yours?
Not through middle school or 8th grade. When I got good and I knew I was, like, I had the confidence, like, I'm better than that kid, it bothered me, like, when I was in high school. But later, I just knew, like, I'm getting recruited for who I am. That's why I'm getting these schools. I didn't worry about other kids because I know how it's gonna be. When I impact the game is a little different than others. So that didn't really affect me in nowhere. But when I hit high school, it affected me. Middle school, I didn't really care about that. I didn't really know I was gonna be this good. I just wanted to make it to a high school varsity team. That's it.
I follow. That's official. Out of 8th grade, you decided to enroll in Mount St. Michael Academy. What went into that decision?
All my friends went there. Also, where I was in middle school, it wasn't diverse enough. I was a lot on the white side. I was the only black kid in class usually. And
you went to private school?
Private school in Bronx. Gotcha. And Mount just felt like home. I was right around the corner from the house. You know, mad at my friends went there, and it was just home. Everybody knew me there. The principal knows everybody there, and it's really diverse. So I just felt comfortable there. Also, the basketball is also AA, one of the best leagues in the world, probably in the U.S. So the competition was good. So it all added up for me to go there.
Okay. Your freshman year, you played on what level?
Varsity.
Knowing the Catholic League, you got freshman, JV, varsity. You played what?
Varsity.
Did you believe that you were a varsity player coming out of 8th grade and going into high school? Did you believe you would play varsity your first year?
I knew I was the best freshman in that school. JV couldn't handle me. But I did not want to play varsity. I didn't know I was a varsity player. But my head coach, he believed in it. I hated it. I did not want to play varsity. I just wanted to play freshman, get my confidence up, you know. But I didn't want to play varsity. But other people thought I was ready, and I was ready. I didn't do bad. I averaged like 8 points, so it was good.
Absolutely. How much did y'all win your freshman year?
Freshman year, we did average. Made it to the playoffs, lost to Hayes at Fordham, ironically. But we didn't do that bad. It was a learning experience my freshman year.
Got you. So now as you go through your freshman year, you go through the bumps and bruises, you now get ready for AAU, 9th grade division, 15U. Would you say that playing varsity AA as a freshman prepared you to be able to attack the spring?
Facts. It definitely did. Confidence was there. I just feel like I was faster than everybody. I had more confidence because I came into AAU thinking that I'm the only freshman that played varsity. That's just how my mindset was.
Mm-hmm.
You even told me that. It was like when I first met you, I knew you had the dog in you. It was all that. So all of that put into my head, I just had the confidence. Like that's the main thing that I need, just confidence, and that just gets me going. So I just felt like I had the upper hand on everybody.
Okay. Now, you go on to have a really, really productive 15U spring and summer. Team you played for, D1 NYC, along with myself, being an assistant coach on that team, was basically top 5, top 10 throughout the year as a 15U team. How did you go into that summer and spring and produce at such a level?
I feel like that was that team, like, that was the best, like, Noah there was. I was playing the 1, I was a combo guard. You know, I was just doing everything, defense. Like, I felt like no cocky stuff, but I felt like it was my team. Like, I'm gonna handle it, I'm gonna take the W, I'm gonna control the game. Like, it just felt all right to me. And I feel like that was the best team in the country. Nobody was beating that team. And it wasn't that one person was this good, like a Jalen Green or a Josh Christopher. We just was a good team. We all knew how to play basketball. It was not selfish, you know. That's why we kicked a lot of people out of the tournaments. Like, it was just nice.
Absolutely, absolutely. That year we were on a Adidas circuit and we ended up making it to the championship game of the 15U. We lose in the championship to Team Loaded Virginia. They had a few guys who went on to be high major basketball players. Now, what do you think you could have done different if you could go back and grab that game? Because I know you definitely wanted to win that championship.
Be a scorer. I was too passive that game, and I was careless with the rock, dribbling too high, turning it over. I just wasn't really into it. I don't know. A lot of mistakes, defensive side, offensive side. It could have went both ways. The team was really good, but I don't think they was better than us. They just outworked us.
Absolutely. And I mean, I also say I think I could have coached better, because we did have a 14-point lead at halftime, and there's definitely some things that me and my man Jonah, who was the head coach at the time, we probably could have did things different as well. But you guys bought it, man. You guys competed at a high level. So now as your sophomore year rolls around, what's your plans for the year and the season?
For college?
No, sophomore year high school. Yeah. Coming off of a really good summer.
I really wanted to make first, second team, but that ended up happening. I didn't really have like a good year. I grew a little bit, but confidence was there. I wanted to make second team, but it just didn't happen. We wasn't that good. We lost a lot of games. Young squad. Had me, Tyler Hawkins, Javoy Thompson, and a lot of older guys, but we wasn't that good. Selfish basketball a lot. We wasn't good at that. My junior year, I feel like that would have raised my stock in basketball if I had a junior year, because I was in shape. When COVID came, I gained like 10 pounds, 175, running. I was 6'4" at the time. As
far as your sophomore year, did COVID cut the season short for you, or were you guys already done playing?
Our last game was on my birthday. I had like 20 points versus Hayes. And
your birthday's on what day?
March 4th.
Gotcha.
And that was the last game of my sophomore year.
Yeah, because obviously COVID, we all remember it being March 2020 in general. Yeah. For everybody, it may be a different date, but we all know March 2020, things were stopped. So you said March 4th, your B-Day. That was y'all last game?
We lost to Hayes. I had a great game. I had like 20 points. And
would y'all have had another game after that if it were not for
It was
COVID?
Playoffs. If we won that, we would have won. Placed that. Probably would have lost. Definitely would have lost. Definitely would have
lost. That's real. So now there's no AAU. There's no nothing. There's no high school ball. I know you say you were in some of your best shape.
Yeah.
What were you doing during that year? Did you have a junior season? Because we know there was no AAU, obviously, so there was no junior season for you as well after that sophomore year, sophomore summer, no junior year. So now what are you doing during that? That's basically like nearly an 18-month hiatus of no basketball. So what you doing?
Push-ups, pull-ups, dips, waking up 6 o'clock, going to mount, weight room, running the track. I put on a good 10 pounds. And at the time, like, summer came and every park was shut down. They took the rims off, and the only park that was open was the park up my block, PS 87. And
they still left their rims up?
They still left the rims up, and everybody was coming there. And I just felt really different. Like, I was moving people, I was hitting them. Like, I just felt different. They didn't want to touch me. I just felt it. And I remember going to my dad, like, yo, I feel them. Like, I don't feel nothing when I go up. When they hitting me, I was just in crazy shape. And that whole summer, I was just going at it, waking up 6 o'clock, putting up shots. I was just very active. But then when junior year rolled around and like school started again and we started going up and down because the gym was open, obviously, I lost all that weight so fast, so fast.
Got you. So you was able to pack on them pounds because you wasn't moving around as much.
Moving around as much, yeah.
So as long as you started moving around, got you. With all of that happening, losing your sophomore summer of AAU, losing your junior year, losing sophomore year playoffs, how did you feel at the moment when we had this thing just come through and ravish everything?
I was really down. I felt like at that point I really wanted to reclass because to do something, I thought my recruitment would be done, but thankfully my coaches had good connections. I started getting like baby offers, not baby offers, but like offers from good, decent level schools from the MAC conferences and stuff. So I picked up my confidence a little bit on everything. But I was really down. I thought COVID was never ending, ever. Because it was just kept spreading and spreading and spreading. So I thought it was going to be like that forever. No junior year season, no senior year season.
Did it have your anxiety up at any point? Like having you a little nervous about what your future can hold? What your future holds, and knowing that you had no control over it to that degree?
For sure, but like, you're not gonna be able to dribble the ball forever. But you know, like I would call myself a bright kid. I don't have to only fall on basketball for it to like put a name on me. I can do other stuff. I'm good at video games and stuff like that. Like, basketball doesn't define me. I'm good at other stuff too. So I wasn't really just focused on, dang, I can't play basketball no more. I was sad, it was devastating, but I still got other stuff I can fall back on. So.
That's thorough, man. And that's good that you do have other stuff outside of basketball to fall back on. You played your junior year, spring and summer, with Riverside Hawks now, after the virus starts clearing up a little bit, 2021 summer. Why did you decide to hoop for them, and how was that experience?
I feel like I kind of owed Riverside to play with them because, as you know, there was a little politics beginning of 9th grade AAU. I was like with Riverside, or I was with D1 NYC, and you came to me like, what you want to do? Like, you got to make a decision. And I was leaning towards Riverside, but you know, I had Big Nick over there. It was just a better environment for me to play D1 NYC. So I left Riverside, kind of did them wrong, I guess, and I played with y'all. But playing Riverside, junior year, that was a good year for me, breakout year. I got a lot of opportunities, offers that year. I was blowing up my junior year. Right. But
how much winning y'all did? I believe y'all went pretty far on the UAA circuit, correct?
Went all the way to the finals.
All the way to the finals. Who y'all lost to?
Illinois Wolves. We was not beating them.
Man, so another game, high level AAU, when you make it to the chip game, what do you think you could have done differently, or y'all could have done differently collectively to get that title?
To be honest, nothing.
Nothing? You feel like y'all left it all out there?
The coaching was a little bad, I feel like, because my best teammate, I feel like getting a bucket, Mo Odom. And I feel like he just entrusted everything into him like way too much. Like, get the ball, Mo, go, score. Like, that's not really offense. Like, what they were doing was Duke stuff. Like, it was backdoor cutting. Every time we came up the court, and we calling the play. They're like, oh, stab your screen. Like they watched us, they studied us. There was no one in that game. We didn't do that.
So how much did y'all lose by?
16. First time we got chopped by 30 because we played them in like Dallas. Got chopped by them by 30. They just don't miss any threes at all. Jordan Shuck kid.
Yeah, your pops had told me about him. He was actually calling me about him that night. Like yo, Goose, this kid, man. Yo,
you know I play defense.
Yeah.
I'm in his face like this, shooting it, and I'm taller than him. Shoot right over me. And once he made that, I knew that was game. I'm like,
shout out to Illinois Bulls, man. And shout out to Riverside Hawks. So now, as the summer ends, y'all have a hell of a run. You have a hell of a summer. Where's your recruitment? How is it looking? Because I know there were some guys in 2022 who put in work, and when after the summer was done, they still weren't getting recruited because now we had the transfer portal, and we had guys getting their COVID year, and along with NCAA basketball, guys getting an extra year eligibility. So did that impact you in any way, stifle your recruitment in any way, or were you getting actively pursued?
Drastically. I was gonna go to George Mason. They offered me right after I played Team Curry, had a great game, and they was telling me all about it, and I was looking stuff up. I was super intrigued. And once AAU ended, I called them right away, like, yo, I want to come visit. I really want to go here. I want to commit right away. And they was like, oh, we love you, Noah. Yes, let's get it done. And then like, let's say like 2 weeks after we finished AAU completely, he called me. I was in the gym. I was just lifting weights, and he called me, FaceTime me. I was like, oh, no, we're not at that level yet. We want to slow down with the committing stuff. And it just rubbed me the wrong way. And I was just disgusted. I even hung up. I'm like, what? All right, I'm gonna call you later, coach. And I hung up, and I never heard from him again. I was literally going to George Mason, like right then and there. I was signing it. I told Coach Frere, head coach, I'm out. I was going here, ruined everything. Ruined my whole recruitment.
Damn, son.
And I ended up signing the kid, because I get it, they have to recruit out of the DMV area.
Absolutely.
And they signed him and everything, and he ended up going to jail. So, I'm like, better not come back around, because I'm not going to George Mason. So I even told my head coach at Fordham, when we play George Mason, we got to kill him by 40.
Hey, I hear that. What was your feelings towards so many rules changing while you were basically trying to get your situation situated? You're a senior. Early signing period is approaching. Once July ends, you got the early signing period about 3-4 months away. So it's on every senior's mind. But you have rules like the transfer portal passing, the NCAA passing a rule where a kid can transfer and not have to sit out. You had the extra eligibility rule passing. You had the NIL stuff going on. How did you feel about all these rules just passing all at once?
I hated it. NIL was good. Everything else, I hated it. I feel like seniors, that 2022 class got it the worst. Because we're the last people these college recruiters are looking at. They're looking at transfer portal, then they're looking at JUCO, then they're looking at prep school, then they're looking at regular senior high school kids. Like,
right.
You feel me? It was just terrible. So we got it the worst. And my recruitment was just on froze. Like my whole senior year, I was hurt. My whole senior year I was hurt, putting up buckets. And I only played 13 games, so it was just bad. I was literally working for a scholarship, like all over again. All the offers I had, they were going.
When the early signing period rolls around, you don't sign. The reason for that is because you basically had nowhere to sign?
Yep, and I wasn't playing. Like mid my senior year, I got hurt my ankle, and I was out for damn near 2 months. Then I came back when playoffs came around. Schools called me and stuff, and I was just down. Like I was really sad. I had mad D2 schools calling me, D3, JUCO, not to knock them, but you know, I had schools like Illinois recruiting me, Atlantic 10, Georgia Tech was calling me, and to hear from them, like, dang, I'm not important no more. Like,
Right.
I just wanted something to spark.
Right, right. You said you was injured your senior season. You mind alluding on what injury you were suffering from?
Ankle injury.
Got you.
St. Raymond's, January 12th.
Got you. Now, though you played only 13 games your senior year, you still had a pretty impressive year. Averaged 20 a game your senior year. Was named to an all-city team. How far did you guys go in playoffs that year, though? Your senior year, I don't remember.
There's 2 playoffs this year, CAA. So
right.
We lost to Scanlon first round. That was my first game ever back. We lost to them by like 5. I had a good game, I had like 24 points. Then we played in the city where we versed everybody, like Lockland, that Brooklyn, Queens area. We played across the King, and I destroyed them on 1 foot, literally. We lost, had 33 points. We lost by 2. But we played across the King.
Got you. So that was what, first round of city playoffs?
First round of cities. We was out of here.
Okay.
Early.
So now as your senior year winds down, and you have no offers, you're not signing anywhere, what are you thinking is going to be your destination for the following year?
I stated that I was reclassing.
Right.
Hopefully more schools will get on me. Played AAU that year with Riverside, 2023. And I was still hurt. You know, my ankle was hurt so bad I started compensating with my legs, which led to back spasms.
Right.
And I wasn't moving like I was moving.
Yeah, once you start compensating, you end up, if one ankle's bad, you hurt the other ankle. You hurt the other knee. You start hurting the hip.
Something else.
Yeah.
So I was just sacrificing my whole career off of just trying to get a breakout game, something. And I would get buckets, but I couldn't even play D. I couldn't run back on offense. I looked like I'm 40 running up the court. So it was just bad. I was just hurting myself. I was literally lowering my stock. Just sacrificing, trying to get something out there. So eventually I just chilled for a minute. And like when dead period came around, I was in the hospital getting an MRI, and Coach Ramon called me from Fordham. He was like, yo, family, we've been talking, Kareem called us, you know, we're really interested, we always been interested. And I kind of got that local kid wouldn't want to go to school in the Bronx. That's what they picked up. So they backed off me a little bit.
Right.
But once I wasn't signed nowhere, Coach Ramon reached back out, and the head coach, Coach Ergo, reached back out, just decided to offer me. And the red shirt was a plus for me because I finally got a year to heal, you know? So it was basically like a reclass year in college. So that's way better. I'm versing way better competition, getting the same reps as these college kids. And the treatment here is great. Everything free. I get reimbursed for hospital bills and everything. So it was a plus. You know?
What made you commit to Fordham? I mean, you gave the steps on how it all winded down, how it all ended up happening, but what made you actually decide to pull the trigger on saying, hey, I'm gonna go to Fordham instead of trying to do the prep school thing?
Well, I had a couple of schools, you know, whispering in my ear. Like, for example, Georgia Tech was even interested, but they told me to reclass. And I always been told, like, go where you're wanted, who really wants you. And Fordham could have went out the transfer portal, got a transfer anywhere. Like, they got Khalid Moore. They could have done that, but they chose the high school kid out of the Bronx. So I felt like that was a real special moment for me. You could have went anywhere else, and you decided to come for me, who only played 13 games as a senior. And they always been around, they stuck around, so I went where I was wanted, who really wanted me. So that's all that matters.
Gotcha. And the choice to redshirt mainly revolves around your injury. You think you would be ready to compete this year if you made redshirt?
Of course. In the beginning, I was working really hard, and then we played pickup one day, and I ended up spraining it again, and I just had to chill. But also, I feel like red shirt for me would be better, put on weight, so I don't get bumped around and everything, because Atlantic 10 is a hard conference. A lot of people sleep on it.
Yeah, it's definitely a hard conference. Pros in the conference every single year.
You feel me? So red shirt just benefits me all around, skill-wise, getting healthy and putting on weight.
I follow. if you didn't end up at Fordham, where do you think you would have ended up?
I would have went to prep school. I'd have been Duffy.
You don't think you would have committed in 2022 at all if it wasn't Fordham?
Nobody else wanted me. No, everybody from the colleges, higher level, high majors and stuff, all wanted me to reclass. 23, we have to see more out of him because the main thing that was messing my recruitment up was me shooting at a higher clip consistently. Like nobody really, and I've done it, they just wanted to see it more. And I was really in Riverside, which I feel like messed up my recruitment just because I got just put in the corner a lot. I was just spot up shooter. I didn't really get to show off my skill, like handle the ball, dime people. That's what I feel like was the downside of my recruitment. I was just a watch, you know, no offense to him, I was just watching Mo Odom dribble 5,000 times and shoot.
Yeah, we love you, man.
He get a bucket. That's my best teammate.
But that's real deal.
Yeah.
Your squad went out the country this summer, correct?
Yep.
Where did y'all go?
Bahamas and Dominican Republic.
How many games did y'all play?
Only 2.
2 in total?
1 in the Bahamas and 1 in the DR.
Who y'all played against? Was it like the national men's team or something like that?
Yeah, chopped them both by like 40.
Hope you know they ain't have all they best guys too.
Should I?
So you didn't feel like the competition was that good, or did you feel the competition?
I didn't feel like it was that good.
Okay.
I didn't even feel like we played that good at all. They were just really bad. That was it.
Hey, that's real. What did you take from the experience out there, basketball-wise and non-basketball-wise?
Experience, non-basketball-wise, I'm growing up. Mommy, daddy not there, traveling with me. You know, just gotta make moves, decisions by myself. So it's really different. You know me, I've never left my parents' side. They always there every game and stuff. So it was a little different. And basketball-wise, like again, the talent, like mentally, IQ, everything. Like you have to pick up stuff on the fly. It's not gonna always be drawn on the clipboard, X and O's. If a coach tells you stagger screen, backdoor cut, you gotta know what to do, or else you're getting pulled. If you don't dive on the floor, you're out. If you don't rebound right, you're out. So it's just everything is so technical, and you just gotta be precise in everything you do.
Now, as a red shirt, you practice with the team. You sit down on the bench during games. How hard do you think it'll be to just be a spectator come game time?
Hard. Even in the Bahamas when I wasn't playing, I couldn't play, but my foot still. I was just itching to play. Like I gotta go in. Like, it was hard. Like it's difficult for me to even sit out. Like I'm always trying to do something, always active. Like I can't just sit around all day. Like I gotta do something. So sitting them, watching them play, even if they, God forbid, lose, but I want us to have a breakout season. Like it's just gonna be way too hard for me to watch.
Absolutely. I think that's normal, considering that you're a competitor. I think that's normal. What are the most important things for you to work on during your redshirt year so that you're prepared to impact the program next season?
Shoot at a higher clip, catch and shoot. I feel like my off the ball dribble, one dribble pull up is there, always been there. Let me see. Contact layups, really just I just feel like if I get stronger, all my weaknesses just get out of there.
Okay.
Just getting stronger.
Now you brought up your mid-range pull-up, which I can attest that yes, you do have a very good mid-range pull-up. But in today's game, college coaches, NBA coaches, they're not even fans of the mid-range game nowadays. One, I want to ask you, how did you get your mid-range game to where it is? And is that a conversation that you've had with your coaches here about taking a lot of mid-range jump shots?
Well, coaches here taking mid-range jump shots, all they want us to do is shoot threes at a high level. They want us to be the best shooting team ever because we was terrible last season. So they want us to, it's everything, individuals, all we're doing is shooting threes. There were no mid-ranges, just straight threes for 40 minutes. My arm is like falling off for the whole practice, straight threes. And mid-range, I was told that the mid-range feeds your family. One dribble pull-up, rise over, little defenders, plus me, I'm a big guard, you know. It's just easy for me to score. Like, that's my go-to if I'm having trouble to get a bucket. So that was just me getting trained by Jomo, doing that 100 times. My dad, it was just in my game. Like, I practiced that all the time.
Got you. So it was a real big emphasis to you growing up.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, how hard is it as an adjusting, knowing that you eat off the mid-range so much, but now when you get to college, and if you get to the pros, God willing, that they don't want you, right, when you get to the pros, that they don't really want you feasting on the mid-range. How hard of an adjustment is that?
It's gonna be a big adjustment, but I feel like, why stop someone from eating if that's his bread and butter? We never tell Kobe to stop doing fadeaways. Why are you gonna tell me to stop doing mid-range pull-ups? If it don't go in, I understand that, but I'm gonna do whatever the coach tells me what to do. If the coach wants me to stand in the corner and shoot threes, I'm gonna do that to provide for my team to win. But yeah.
Got you. What are you looking forward to the most regarding college basketball?
Next year, I want to be freshman of the year. Because of my redshirt year, I feel like I should be dominant enough. Just dominate every freshman in the conference. My main goal is to be freshman of the year. Just like Mike Green, freshman of the year.
Official tissue.
Yep.
I want to take it back real quick and highlight that you're the first middle schooler that I had seen use his left hand for a layup on the right side, jumping off of his left foot. Now in today's game, that's not common, but it's more common. You see it more today. Where did you get that from? And why did you decide to add that finish to your game early in your development?
Pee Wee Kirkland taught me that. When I was in like a local gym, Kinetics in like Pelham, and he was just there with his son, and he just saw me working out with my dad, shooting backboard shots and everything. And he just decided to come over and work me out. And I was working out with his son, and he was teaching me like finishes and left hand layups and stuff. And the reason why you never see me go on the left hand side and open up is because when you're doing that, you just literally open your body up to get it punched. And when I started doing that, I was just, that little sweep through you see me going, I'm literally going under the defender, and it's just an easy layup, not contested. It's just easier for me. So when I just kept practicing that, it just came second nature. And I just never stopped doing that. To this day, I still do that.
Absolutely, absolutely. And now it's a must-have finish. Nowadays, a lot of trainers teach players it and et cetera, but I will say outside of myself and a few other trainers I've seen working on that finish in the gym, I hadn't seen any young players in game jump off their left foot, finish with their left hand on the right side. So kudos to you, and definitely big shout out to Pee Wee Kirkland teaching you that. Throughout your journey, you were a late bloomer, basically, in conclusion. What's some advice that you would give to another late bloomer who's chasing a scholarship, but things don't look so clear to them at the moment?
I would say just trust yourself, trust the process, trust whoever's around your circle. They want nothing for you but the best. Like, I had a good people around my circle. I didn't change up. I didn't go to 3 million different trainers. Like, I just stuck to what I felt was right. Just be confident and like in yourself. Like, this is gonna work out, and just stay consistent, stay sharp. When that call comes, just be ready. So
you would say it takes a lot of putting in your work and then being real confident and having real belief in what it is that you're working, along with having belief in your inner circle as well.
Confidence is everything in basketball. If you have no confidence, you can't play.
Okay. Now in closing, I just want to ask, man, in your short career, if there's one player Who is the one player that has given you the most work in your short career?
Hardest person I've ever guarded, basically.
Hardest person you ever guarded, or who's had the best performance against you that you might have thought to yourself when you went back home or went to your hotel room, man, I gotta get my shit together.
Dang. There's a couple. Zaire Baines.
Okay.
Know that. That's just an automatic 30. He's just 30 every night. But he never beat me, by the way. Zaire Baines.
Zaire is definitely a bucket.
Antonio Sellers.
Antonio was definitely a bucket.
If he never got sick, Antonio would be league. And I say Mo, but I can stop Mo. He's just a scorer. Like, Mo is a buck. But that's really it. But those people never gave me, like, I slow people down.
Yeah.
You can get 30, but you're not gonna score more than 5 in the fourth quarter. That's it. I slow people down. But that's really it. I never really had trouble guarding anybody like that. But those three, they gave me some trouble, especially Zaire. I'll give it to him.
I mean, you're a defensive-minded player, man, and the defensive. At the end of the day, if you play defense, and if a guy is in motion that particular day, that's your day to catch some work, you know. And when you speak to slowing people down, I've seen no, not trying to dish you or nothing, but I have seen DJ Wagner get 20 in the first half.
I forgot about that game. That game was done. I ain't gonna lie, I forgot about that game.
I have seen him get 20 on you in the first half and miss only 1 shot in the first half, but then miss 10 shots in the second half. You being in his face, you wearing him down. But most definitely, a dude, when you play defense, and if the dude's hot, the dude's hot. And he's going to get his stuff off on it. Anything you want to say in closing? Any shout outs?
Man, shout out Wakefield, shout out Edson, family. Shout out my mom and my dad. I wouldn't be here in this outfit in this college if it wasn't for y'all. Shout out you, help me. I keep all that dribble low. Every time I'm dribbling low, I'm always in the back of my head. It used to be on me. Jomo, everybody that helped me, man. I was blessed to be here.
All right, man. We out of here. Rip and go. Appreciate you sitting with us.
Of course.